Hello, it's Leah here, back again for what I'm calling season 2 of my American holiday. As if you watched last season in January, you will know that I did a little holiday in America, and I am back doing a new holiday. So if we didn't get a chance to catch up before I left, I am starting in San Francisco and then working my way across to Chicago. And you know what, actually, we'll fill it in a little bit, but that's the new plan. I'm currently on the train, which is why we're moving around quite a bit, and I tried to make it as straight as I could, but the table I'm on is already like this, and the tripod is, it's doing its best, but we're moving quite a lot. You can feel it, you can probably hear it as well. So anyway, it is the 20th today, Wednesday. So I left Adelaide on the 18th. I got a bus. That's a combination of caught and got a bus from Adelaide to Melbourne on the 18th. Just a leisurely trip during the day to get there, because that's where my international flight was departing from. Now, of course, I can get a flight from Adelaide to Melbourne, but I don't really enjoy flying, and I try to avoid it when I can. Also, I find driving holidays, and just driving actually, generally speaking, more relaxing, and I thought it would be a good way for me to kind of switch off throughout the day, and then, really just start to get into that holiday mode, and that's what I did. So the funny thing is, when I checked in on the bus, and the driver was putting our suitcase away, which actually, if you watched last season, you'll know that I was when I got the Greyhound in America, they just kind of like, it's a free-for-all, it's just like find your own seats, whatever, throw your own bag under there, doesn't matter. And he was like, where are you going, what is your ticket, making sure that everyone's, and he just grabbed my bag straight away. I didn't even get a chance to lift it up myself. He just grabbed it, put it away, and he's like, this is your seat. And he's like, I've put you in the best seat we've got. And I was like, ha ha ha. You're thinking like, you must say that to everyone. Anyway, he absolutely did put me in the best seat they've got, because they had like this huge amount of leg room in front of me. Now, admittedly, I don't usually need a lot of leg room. I don't have very long legs, but I had heaps of room. Anyway, so I did get the best seat in the house. Anyway, about 3/4 of the way there, I was thinking, you know what, this has been a very nice trip for me. And it had been. I'd snoozed heaps of it. I was really quite exhausted, emotionally exhausted, I think. So I got the Sky Bus from Southern Cross to the airport, and I reckon the last time I heard people talking about the Sky Bus, I think it was like $8 or something. It was $24, but anyway, probably still cheaper than a taxi. This one had the opposite of the legroom issue. There was none. There was no legroom at all, as you can see from this photo. But it just made me laugh, because all day I'd had really enough room to literally lie down, and this time my knees were actually hitting the wall in front of me. So I was like, this is nice. Anyway, when I got to Melbourne Airport, I stayed at a hotel overnight, just so that, I feel like it's easier to be closer to the airport in the morning when I needed to get my flight. It wasn't a very early flight, but I just thought I didn't want to fight the traffic or whatever, so I'd rather just know that I'm close, and that way, if you're running late, I could walk there. It was walking distance, didn't have to worry about a cab, didn't have to worry about traffic, just walk there, which I did. I flew on Air New Zealand, so I flew out of Melbourne into Auckland, and then from Auckland to San Francisco. And my original plan was to go from San Francisco, get on the California Zephyr, go to Denver, Omaha, Chicago, then go up to St. Paul, Minneapolis, back to Chicago, and then go to Detroit for a few days, and back to Chicago for a few days, and then fly out of Chicago. And in the week before departure, I got an email saying that they're not doing the Chicago leg anymore, and that don't worry about it, they'll book me on a new flight within 72 hours. And I was like, I'm exactly going to worry about it. I really thought very hard about what I'm doing here, and what flight I'm on, and also what seat I'm on. So I'm not in a good place right now. It's just given me some change, and I'm not dealing with change so well right now, because especially I have no control, and I don't want to be put on a code share flight. I only want to fly on Air New Zealand. I don't want to be put on something else and have that stress either. So anyway, rang him up, took him about hours to get through, and was like, where do you part, only you depart from? And because I don't want to code share, and then depending on where that is, I'll think about if I can get there or not on my own steam, and then depart from there. So they had like LA, San Francisco and Houston. Now I didn't want to go back on the train to San Francisco, although you never know, if I get to see lots of mountain, I might be thinking, God, I wish I'd gone back. But anyway, I thought I'll go down to Houston. What that did mean though is that didn't really have enough time to go out to Detroit and then back again before going down to Houston, just because the train can be unpredictable and you can have some long delays. And if I had long delays heading to Houston, that could be bad. Obviously, if I miss my train, that would be very bad. If I miss my plane, that would be very bad. So I had to, in the end, I ended up having to can the Detroit leg, which is, and it was so, well, this is what is kind of funny, is it was like the night before, it was only the night before that I had booked my, the train back from Minneapolis to Chicago, and then the train trip, like the return trip to Detroit. Anyway, just the night before, and then the next morning I got an email saying that they'd canned it. So anyway, I could cancel my trip, but I lost 25%. Thanks to New Zealand. Anyway, so now I'm going to go to Houston for a few days. So I was a little bit disappointed about that at first, because I'd wanted to go to Detroit. Obviously, that's why I'd put it on my itinerary. Also, because I wanted to go and try. I wanted to go to Mum's Spaghetti, and I wanted to go to the Detroit Tigers game. I saw a little thing of their stadium, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun. I'll go there. I've never been to a baseball game, so that would be fun. Anyway, that's but you're not doing that anymore. Also, of course, as you will know, I was going to accidentally just run into Eminem walking down the street, because that just happens for everyone. Now I definitely won't see Eminem walking down the street. So anyway, I guess I'll have to run into someone walking down the street in Houston instead. So that's fine, because now I'm going to go to an Astros game and catch up with some cousins that I have in Houston. So anyway, that's all good. Last night then, on the 19th, it was funny, I left Melbourne at 12 o'clock on the 19th and arrived in San Francisco at 12 o'clock on the 19th. I flew very, very fast. I arrived in, went through immigration fine, and then got a taxi out to my hotel, and I picked a hotel that was just around the corner from the train station, so it wouldn't have that stress of having to travel in the morning. So that in the morning I could get a California Zephyr, which is what I'm on now, and it is almost 6:30 at night, and we boarded at a little bit late, so about 9:25 in the morning. But been on here for quite a while now, but I'll be on here for probably another 24 hours, because it's not due into Denver until 6:38. My first stop is Denver. I was going to stop in Salt Lake because I really wanted to see some big rocks and obviously find a husband and become a sister wife, and only have to do a third of the work in a marriage, or maybe a fourth. That seems like a reasonable deal to me, but the train gets into Salt Lake at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's too early. Too late, I guess, depends how you look at it, but I've never been there before. I have no idea what it's like. I don't know what the train station is like. I don't know what people are like around there. You just have no idea. When you're traveling by yourself, you have to pay. You have to be more careful, you know what I mean? Like, I do think, when it's your time, it's your time. You can't outrun fate, but I also don't think that you should leave breadcrumbs for fate. You should try to avoid it a little bit, right? Like, don't make it easy. Don't be doing crazy things when you don't know what you're doing. So no, Salt Lake. First stop is in Denver, and so getting to Denver, if we run on time, about 20 to 7 tomorrow night. If we're not running on time, who knows what time, but I've also picked a hotel right near the station, so hopefully everything goes fine. So I am in a roomette, which I'll show you a picture of the other side of my room. This is one, it's pretty much this, but just mirrored on the other side. It's very roomy for one person. It might be a bit snug for two people, because you actually have a bunk up the top, and I know you get held in with a net. And I don't want to be in a bed where I need to be held in by a net, but anyway, I didn't need to worry about that because I'm the only one in here, so I'll be on the bottom bunk. And so we have seen some really nice landscape already. I put in a couple of photos. I was actually just kind of staring at the wall, and then I looked out and I was like, oh my god, snow. So anyway, it was a beautiful bit of snow covering the ground and some like big fir trees. So it was like exactly what you feel like Christmas, like a stereotypical Christmas looks like. Then they told us that we're coming up to Lake Dumba, something like that, and I thought excellent. And they're like, oh, it's a great lake, go and have a look. It's not one of the Great Lakes, but it's a great lake. Go and have a look on the left hand side. I'm on the right hand side, so I won't see it from my window. So I go down to the observation cart so that I can see it, and then I'm trying to record it, and I think, I am recording it anyway. Push the wrong flipping button. So anyway, I have no footage of that, and I can't look up what it's called because there's no Wi-Fi on here. I thought I read online that there was, but there's no Wi-Fi on here, so I can't look up what the name of that lake is. Anyway, I didn't catch it on the camera, sorry. I did sit with my eyeballs, and it was beautiful. You have to take my word for it, and I will look up what it said, and I'll probably write in some text, maybe here or here, what it was called. But oh man, it was so nice. It was like big, really like a dark blue water, and then there was like these snow-covered sides, and oh man. Anyway, you know, sometimes you just don't get to record everything. You just have to record it here, I guess, and that's what I did. Anyway, we're gonna have dinner soon, in about 20 minutes, I think. So because I'm in a sleeper, meals are included, and the first meal that I had today was not included on the train because it was because we're boarding at like 9:30, they don't have breakfast. So my breakfast was actually a protein shake and some peanut butter cracker things that I got at a servo yesterday. So that was very nice. That was also my dinner, a protein shake and half of the packet of the peanut butter squares. But I did have a pretty late lunch at Denny's, and it was a pretty full-on lunch, so I was like, you know what, just have a nice easy dinner. And it was very easy. I didn't really want to go out again, having travelled for quite a long time. Yes, so today for lunch I had a fully loaded baked potato which had like a vegan chili on it, but then it was served with cheese, sour cream and bacon. You can veganize it if you want, which is really good, but it just made me laugh because it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have the vegan chili with bacon and sour cream. But you know what, one thing I didn't think about was coriander, and I almost always think that when I see something like a chili, oh, you know, it might have coriander in it, don't get it. Anyway, it did have a little bit of coriander in it, and I hate coriander, and so that part of it was gross, but it wasn't a lot of it in there, thank God. But anyway, so I guess I'll be having dinner soon, and I'll fill you in tomorrow about what I see. Apparently though, I am on the good side for seeing the Colorado River. So I'm on the right side of the train, like in the direction it's going, on the right side. That lake thing was on the left side, that's why I had to go to the observation cart. And I will be spending some time in the observation cart tomorrow, because tomorrow should be a mountain day. So let's hope it's not too dark. That's the only thing I'm worried about, is that when we get to the Rockies it might be dark. I'll just have to wait and see. Before I left home, I did tell Mum that I would definitely post earlier and more frequently, so that my family could keep an eye on where I was. And it's the 27th, I think. Yeah, it's the 27th today, and I haven't posted anything. So what I'm trying to say here is that I lied, and this won't get posted probably at best now till the 28th, potentially the 29th Australian time, so I'm sorry. Anyway, we left off day 1 on the train, which was a nice day, just kind of very low-key. It's relaxing, sitting in the train. You don't really have to do anything. The train does all the work, right? At dinner that night, have a couple of beers, think to myself, I'm gonna get a couple of White Claws, and that should help me like off to sleep. Anyway, that's not what happened. Well, Mike, our great attendant, he set up my bed, as you can see here. A little something to help me sleep. And that's the top bunk if you had a roommate. And there's my 2 White Claws, and I drank one, and even that was a struggle. And I tried to drink the other one tonight because I had it with me. I thought I'm not carrying it around again. Anyway, it's disgusting. Black cherry is disgusting. It tastes like medicine, and I couldn't finish it. I barely drank half of it, and I was like, yuck, just getting rid of it. Anyway, so get into bed, prepare myself for the gentle rocking of the train, and did not have a good sleep at all. And it's not that the train was bad. It's not. That rocking is very gentle. You know what, maybe not for everyone, but it is very gentle. But I don't really sleep well in new places. I like to sleep when it's really dark, and also I was sleeping at a time it wasn't really nighttime for me. I'm still obviously adjusting to the time difference. Well, at the time I was still adjusting to the time difference. Actually, to be honest, I still am. It's been a week and I'm still like, huh? Anyway, did not sleep very well at all. Woke up, looked out the window. Oh, we're at Salt Lake. Couldn't see anything, obviously. Anyway, we got up early the next day. I didn't think I would see sunrise, but I was hoping I might see a little bit of it. But also I was like, I just want to get into the shower early and, you know, freshen up for the day. Anyway, the day before I had heard Mike telling some people that, oh, it looks, they were like, can you show us how to work the shower? We can't get the hot water to work. And then he showed him, but obviously no hot water came through. And the fan is just turned off. And he's like, oh, it looks like cold showers. But this was like 5 or 6 o'clock the night before, like the day before, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock even. And I was like, this is fine. This will get fixed by the time I want to have my shower in the morning. Incorrect. That is incorrect. It was freezing, but to be fair, the fact that it was freezing was a blessing, because at first I could barely get anything but a little trickle of water out of it. So this is the shower cubicle. Now, it's a reasonably decent size, and then you've got like I'm standing in a separate room that obviously has a lockable door, and Amtrak provides you with soap and a towel, right? So you don't have to pack those things yourself. So I thought, you know what, this is fine. I'm just gonna try my luck anyway. Yeah, at first I couldn't get hardly any water out, and it was just trickling down like in this little like baby waterfall. Not ideal. And then I did get it to work, and I had a cold water therapy. And you know what? You know, people say, you know, once you get used to it, well, they're fucking liars. I got used to it, but it was still very unpleasant. But I had to have a shower. I'd committed to it, right? I was already in the shower, half soaked. I had to finish my shower. Anyway, also I had to wet my hair because my hair's out of control in the mornings. But anyway, I did talk to someone else during the day, and they had a shower. They were in a different car, and their communal shower was hot. So it was just an unlucky thing. And I've seen, because I've watched heaps of other train videos, I've seen people talk about how the shower was fine. It was just unlucky. I don't want people to think that's every experience, because from what I've seen, it's definitely not. I was just a bit unlucky, but ooh, wait, it was a crisp start to the day. Anyway, then we went and had breakfast, and got seated in the first seating for breakfast because I was up at the crack of dawn, and I'd had my cold water therapy, so I was moving pretty quickly. And so, yeah, got up and saw not quite sunrise, but just a little bit past sunrise. The sun was still very low on the horizon in Utah, and it was I mean, it's pretty spectacular. Utah is, like I said before, I think I wanted to stop there because I wanted to see their big rocks, but I didn't get to stop and look at them, but I did get to see them go by. Yeah, it was really beautiful. Anyway, I'll put in some video of what I think is the Utah part. Yeah, see, I mean, like, I knew I was going to be on the train for a long time, 31 hours, and so I was prepared for that. Also, like I said before, I like landscape, I like scenery, and I knew that we were going to see mountains, and I was like, please, just get me into the Rockies, that's all I care about. Anyway, that's not all I care about, I like all landscape. Anyway, man, it was just really spectacular. I was looking down at one point and I looked out my window and I was like, oh my God, snow. But I can tell you that probably, man, I don't know how many times I would have said, oh my God, oh wow, when I looked out at things, or even when I was looking at them, but then it changed from one scape to the other. Like, I did spend a little bit of time in the observation deck, which you can see here.
Places like that still kind of bad. But we go through those fast enough.
We're still going to try and get the blood out of your truck.
I didn't spend all day in the observation deck because, as the conductor and attendants quite rightly point out, there's only 55 seats in the observation cart, and there's way more than 55 passengers on the train, and so they ask you to be kind and considerate, but if you don't be kind and considerate, they will help you be kind and considerate. So I was like, you know what, I'll just have my turn. I'm pretty lucky because I've got my own room, I've got my own window. I'm on the Colorado River side, so that was pretty, like, I knew I was going to get a look. You're going to get good things either way, but anyway, at one point though, I was watching, you know, it was when we were in the car and they were talking to us about how we're entering bald eagle territory, and I was like, excellent, show me the eagles. Anyway, and then the guy was like, oh, we're coming up to 2 waterfalls. He goes, and there's the waterfall, and there's the tree, and yeah, the nest is there, and it looks like there's one in there. I never flipping saw shit. But I was looking at the ridge line. It wasn't, anyway, apparently it was down lower, and it was like that. And someone said the fountains were not very big, so I would not have seen them probably anyway like this. Oh, but it was breathtaking. Anyway, like, it felt like every time you looked out, you were thinking, oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, look at that.
Happy with any accommodation? I don't know.
And then there are parts as well where the river is like kind of narrow and slow moving, and then it opens up and it's a bit more rapid, as you can hear in this bit here.
Taking that float. Also, it's not much of a float more than it is an endurance test. They do have a big Gore Canyon days where you get a couple hundred people out here running it, but mostly just a few people every day in the summer that we see, if that. It's always a treat to see someone taking a shot at it, though. Folks, still got the Colorado River down there, beautiful granite spires up above us on our right and left-hand side of travel. This is the Upper Gore Canyon, only to be seen from down there or up here on the rails. The Upper Gore Canyon, folks.
Yeah, but actually, I mean, it's just spectacular. And we got out at, I think it was Fraser, for a fresh air stop. And they had snow out there, so I did get out and play with the snow, but my phone was charging, so I didn't get a photo or anything, but I did play in the snow, of course. I made some snowballs. And you know, people look at you like, haven't you ever seen snow before? It's like, yes, bro, but not a lot, okay? I'm not from around here. Anyway, but I will say that, you know, when I said to people, you know, like, what are you doing? Where are you from? What are you doing here? Do you live here or are you just visiting? Why are you doing this? And it's like, well, firstly, I mean, you're doing it too. Why are you doing it? Secondly, why not? But it was actually surprising how many people I met who were doing train journeys as part of the designated holiday. So really going, like this one goes from like the Zephyr goes from San Francisco to Chicago, but then the Texas Eagle goes from Chicago down to, well, into Texas obviously, then it turns into something else, I don't know, and then it goes up again to LA. So you could get a pretty big loop like that, but you don't need to stop there because you can go from Chicago then up to Boston, then you could do the Acela down to Florida, then go up to Texas. Like, you could do a whole lot of train thing. It's funny though, because they were saying to me, I said, I like trains. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to watch the world go by. I've never seen a mountain. Like, that's what I want to see. And I'm happy to watch the world go by. And they're like, oh yeah, our train system is a little bit behind, I'm afraid. And I'm like, ours is really I would say that in Australia it's more of a enthusiast pursuit because it's not general commuter type of travel. But also when I've looked at trips before, it was prohibitively expensive, I thought. Maybe that's what I thought because I live here and I think, well, I can do that drive myself, but I'd never do this drive myself. Also, there are parts here where the train goes where you couldn't go as a car anyway. It's only train tracks. Anyway, it was really beautiful. Like, I didn't sleep great, but that's not because the bed was uncomfortable. That's a me thing, it's not a train thing. And my shower was not great, but again, that was just a luck thing. The showers are fine normally. But also the people are just pretty friendly, actually just want to have a chat a lot of the time. So if you're in, you know, you get seated in the dining car for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you get to sit there at tables of 4, and they like to make sure every seat is full. So you get to talk to new people every meal, sometimes the same people, which is nice, and just talk about, you know, where you're going, what you're looking for, why you're here. And when you tell people that you're from Australia and you're here because you like trains, first of all, they're like, and they're like, hey, you're also on a train. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, but I want to see a mountain. I've never seen a mountain before. People from more mountainous areas like, that's unusual. Yeah, well, you know what? It's like if somebody says to me they've never seen a beach before. I'll be like, hey, live without beach. But you do, right? You live in the terrain you've got. And then if I tell them that I come here to watch ice hockey, then their face is even more confused because they're like, Australian ice hockey. I'm like, no. Like American and Canadian ice hockey. I'm not. Why we travel this way to see Australian ice hockey? Also, our pool is like small, right? Anyway, but yeah, that's what I tell them. Here for 2 things. I'm to Colorado to see mountains. I'm headed to Denver to see Nathan McKinnon. So yeah, you know, why else do people travel? Something to do, somewhere new to see, something new to experience, something to enjoy, obviously. And you know, I've been to some live hockey games now. I know they're real fun. So I know I'm going to have fun at these ones. Anyway, so that was the first leg of the Zephyr. So we got in a little bit late, which was not too bad. Actually, the Union Station is like this fully redeveloped Union Station in Denver. It's like this fully redeveloped thing. They're still doing a little bit more work in there, but it's like a hub of activity, right? It has hotels, bars, restaurants in it, right? It doesn't even have like a cheesy 7-Eleven or like a chain coffee shop in it, right? It's fancy. It doesn't have Wi-Fi that works. So I'm like, how the flip am I going to find my hotel? because I don't have my Wi-Fi yet. I thought there was Wi-Fi on the train and I'd be able to get an eSIM. Anyway, did not. How am I supposed to find it? Anyway, there was a hard stamped map. And luckily, because I literally picked a hotel which I felt was like less than half a kilometre from the train station, I should be able to find it. And I did. But I was worried because it seemed like in the instructions that I'd need my email to access my apartment. And I thought, if they send me a flipping code through email and I can't access my email because I can't find any flipping Wi-Fi, I'm going to be real unhappy because I'm pretty tired right now. But anyway, I got to the hotel. It's like it's a hotel, but it's not. It's apartments. But anyway, we'll do a tour of the hotel later. But anyway, let me get back to the point. The point is that travelled about 9-10 hours on the bus to get to Melbourne. Travelled, I don't know, like 25 hours to get from Melbourne to San Francisco, and then travelled a bit over 31 hours because we were running behind to get from San Francisco to Denver. But I did it, and having spent about 4 days in 3 different tin cans with recirculated air, I got sick. Maybe you can tell, it's not always this husky. Anyway, I got sick, not surprisingly. But anyway, I made it, and then beep, and then other adventures happened, which we'll talk about in another video. Alright, I'll speak to you later. Bye.